Hello, everyone. Once again, back to the Web Healing Show. I know a lot of people have different ideas about healing, so I like to let you know what healing is all about from the radical perspective. Why just radical perspective? It is from the thesaurus perspective because the meaning of healing is being whole and complete. So you're not just doing healing for only your own fixing or because there is a problem or because there is some shortcoming or because there is some pain or ache or diseases or just because the relationships are not working. Healing is a soul bathing experience and you owe it to yourself. It's your prerogative and it's your birthright to continue experiencing healing and very deep healing on a daily basis. Now, obviously, you're not going to depend on others for your own daily needs, right? This is something that you can do it for yourself. And that's why we have super simplified some of the healing techniques. And what I'm going to give you is a few glimpses of these healing techniques. So, in my lecture series or my talk series at 6 p.m. in the month of May, I would be talking about one topic every day, and I would give you few of the radical statements which can have profound healing effects on it. Um, Obviously, when you recite, you feel good and calm and quiet. If some particular topic resonates well with you, it would be a good idea for you to keep reciting them at least for 21 days till the time the healing experience gets over. And even when you feel a particular emotion, uh, all you need to do is just listen to this recording once more. So, for example, today's topic is frustration. And the day you're feeling frustrated, maybe you can pick up one of those recordings and listen to it till the time you just calm down and be at peace once again. So you can use this recording for your quick fix as well as for deeper healing. When you're doing your deeper healing, obviously you're going to select one such recording and listen to it for 21 days. So now you're not going to work for 30 weeks. So what you do is just select one important recording that resonates well with you and work with that for 21 days. You can copy those radical statements and recite them every day or listen to the audio. Add your own statements. And if you feel that it's pretty confusing, like somebody wrote to me saying that, well, I can't pick up a single topic because there's so many topics that resonate so well with me. In that case, you need to consult a radical uh, facilitator and ask for the core issue. So, what is core issue? Your presenting issues are like that decayed apple on a tree. You pick up one apple which is decayed because the tree is not looking very healthy. And then you feel good. Oh, I did a good job. However, very soon another apple could be decayed, and the third one, and the fourth one. And if you picked up enough of apples, then there are leaves and flowers which could be decayed, or there are some twigs which are dried up. And how long are you going to keep working like that? You need to learn radical or consult a radical facilitator to go to the root cause of your problem. That will simplify your healing process. So if you ask yourself a question, why is there an apple? Because there is a twig. Why is there a twig? Because there is a sub-branch. The sub-branch is there because there is a branch, and the branch is there because there is a trunk. A hardworking person will keep plucking peripheral stories and keep healing them. A smart working person will figure out where is the trunk, shake the trunk, let the apples fall and become a part of the manure, and let this manure start flourishing or nourishing the tree once again. Your life is like that tree. You have a core thought process or a core belief. which gives rise to many more complications in life. Not all complications and expressions are pleasant to you or acceptable to you. Not all of them are actually serving you in a better way. So some of them you might want to reposition, and that's why this healing technique. Now, why the statements? Another comment that I keep getting on and on is most of the time the statements are just say, give me a moment. I'll just go through the comments. Okay. All right. So most of the time, these statements are also so-called negative words. Now, from the perspective of your higher consciousness, there's nothing like positive or a negative. So why are we using these negative words if that doesn't really make you feel good about yourself? However, that's what you think you are. Let's acknowledge. In Radical, we believe in facing it head on rather than escaping or running away from any experience. That doesn't mean that you have to go and destroy yourself, but at least some of the emotions which are unacceptable to you might as well just face them. Because once you face them, you get over them. If you try and resist, they tend to persist, right? Another thing is, I'm a homeopath, and though I'm not now dispensing homeopathic medicines, but I still homeopath at the core. My heart is still a homeopath's heart, and my still mind still works with the homeopathic principles, right? So what is the prime homeopathic principle is like cures like. That means zahar zahar ko marta hai. The poison kills poison. How does it work? Suppose you are sitting in a room which is fairly decently clean, but on some of the tables and some of the tabletops, you see a little bit of film of dust. And I know how Indians work, including me. We would wait for the maidservant or the helper to come and clean next day. And you may just procrastinate, even if you do not have, like considering the lockdown time, and some of you might be abroad and you may not have the domestic help as per your wish. However, you'll just wait, for the daily cleaning, and you may not just attend to it immediately. What if the storm is outside and your windows are open, and before you realize there's a thick layer of dust on your table and on all your furniture? Would you wait for the next day? Would you wait for your maid or a helper? No, you will get up and clean. And while cleaning, you will do a good job in a way that even the old layers of film, which you were feeling little reluctant to move, because you get okay over a period of time. And you get so comfortable that you don't even realize when you cross that threshold. So you need another stimulation. There's been an experiment. You put it's kind of a painful thing for all animal lovers. And my apologies if you feel hurt, but this is a real experiment they had done. They put a frog in a boiling water and the frog jumped. Obviously, they need to save their lives. However, they put a frog in a container full of water and they gradually increase the temperature, and for better part of time frog did not realize that he has to jump. So when complaint starts gathering over a period of time, your defense mechanisms do not work because you get accustomed to, you don't even realize there are a lot of people who have blood pressure increasing over a period of time gradually. They don't even realize when they have crossed the threshold. However, if the blood pressure shoots up overnight, in an hour, your body starts reacting. Same way, there are so many complaints which mounts up, which builds up over a period of time, and you don't even realize that. That's why we reintroduce so-called negative statements. So all that you're complaining of, we're giving it back to you. You're reciting that again. You're kind of thumping on yourself once again so that your resistance, your defense mechanisms wakes up and says, hey, let's clear this up. It's not really needed. It's not really required. Let's kind of give it a right position and let's change the position. And that's how we defend ourselves, by changing our postures and position. Now, these are all technical words that I'm going to use to understand what I really mean by changing the position, or all these defenses. Maybe you'll get the theory in Radical Crystalline Mind, which is beyond the scope of this lecture series or talk series. To get the grasp of it, the whole philosophy, maybe I would invite you to do the course, the series of courses that I offer in various levels. That is Spiritual Solution series, from level 1 to 6. You can join and get a better grasp over the philosophy of life, the way life works, the way you integrate your material life and the spiritual life, and the way the mind, body, and souls are interconnected in true sense. That will give you such deeper insights that every pain of yours, you will learn how to interpret and how to correct. Every discomfort, how that is mirroring something that is really not in alignment with you. And that particular uh, curriculum will give you in-depth understanding of yourself. So, ever you think of learning more about yourself, you can join the Spiritual Solutions training programs, level 1 to 9. It's a mentorship based training program over and above the regular talks and lectures and demonstrations and practice rounds. You also have facility to do group practices, as well as have your own mentor who will assist you and guide you. A very powerful program. If not that, you can also opt to become a Radical Classic member, where you have a daily input of these kind of regular recitations, and that will help you understand and know yourself in a much better way. So I call this program the self recognition program, self recognition through self healing. You think what you are is exactly not what you are. If you go beyond all the levels that you have given it to yourself, or you have borrowed from others, you will know beyond that who you are. You have to penetrate those layers to rediscover who you are, and then gather the courage to live being who you are. And that is ultimate liberation. So I invite you to join the forum, join the group, join the membership program, and if not, continue listening to at least 6 p.m. Regular lives, because I presume a lot of people are regularly benefiting from them. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for being regular. I see daily a lot of people, and it's a joy greeting all of them. I may not be able to name all of them, but there's a lot that we all can learn together. Thank you so much for joining. So coming back to today's topic is frustration to fulfillment. If you ask yourself a question, what is it that you're looking for? Keep answering. Say, I'm looking for money. So through money, what? A better lifestyle. Through better lifestyle, what? You keep asking what. Eventually it will lead to the experience of fulfillment. We're all looking for fulfillment, and yet very few people are truly fulfilled, because subconsciously we associate the experience of fulfillment with stagnation and eventually a death. It's a very subconscious phenomenon. So, in spite of looking for fulfillment, we are postponing fulfillment. Interestingly, the moment you start feeling fulfilled, you start looking for reasons for not being fulfilled. You get a job. Now you're fulfilled for a few days. Then you start finding flaws and shortcomings in that career or a job and start feeling unfulfilled once again. Then, say you got into a relationship temporarily, amazing fulfillment. And then you start inviting frictions and problems. And that gives you dissatisfaction, unfulfillment. And the cycle begins. Everybody is looking for the ultimate fulfillments, and most of us lead a life with periodic frustrations. We keep inventing these frustrations. The frustration comes up mainly because you have your own expectations and nobody is obliged to make sure that all your expectations are met. Even if people are on your payroll, they're ultimately not obliged because they will have their own ways of fulfilling you, which may not match your expectations, and the frictions happen there. So there are ongoing frictions all the time in and around your world. Sometimes the frustration is because of finances, sometimes because of the relationships, sometimes it's because of children and your expectations from them. Sometimes it is with your colleagues, sometimes it is with the society members, and sometimes with your own spiritual growth. And the worst frustration is with your own self because you expect yourself to be in a certain way and not always you can match up to your own expectations. And that's the most difficult part of it. And all these frustrations eventually leads to a sense of unfulfillment. And that goes on and on and on. If we know that eventually we're looking for fulfillment and not the frustration, the focus can be on fulfillment. Most of the time, we think that if I'll stop being frustrated, I will be fulfilled. My argument or my recommendations would be think of fulfillment, think of being fulfilled. Give yourself permission to be fulfilled. The frustration will dissolve and will vanish. And when you have lesser need to be frustrated, you'll have lesser need to have expectations which will create further frustration. So, know what your expectations are, and the day you decide not to feel frustrated, you will be able to modify and even make your uh, whole expectations much more manageable, reasonable, and applicable to many more people in a way that you will get eventually a fulfillment through a lot of people around you. Make it a habit to experience fulfillment in smallest stories of your life. Say, for example, you've had a meal. That's a simple meal. It may not be as per your expectations, but the person who has cooked has expected you to feel fulfilled. Now, focus and think from their point of view and recognize the love in their eyes and say, thank you. Thank you for attempting to fulfill me. And discover that momentary fulfillment. Drink a glass of water. Discover that momentary satisfaction. Talk with somebody and give a pause. Discover the momentary joy and fulfillment. Take bath and feel refreshed and say, hey, thank you. That was fulfilling. Very, very amazing experience. Thank you. Wake up in the morning, and if you've had a refreshing sleep, take a pause. Don't jump out of the bed and just kind of acknowledge the kind of fulfillment that you have felt. When you go to bed, think of all those moments you felt fulfilled with. Don't expect overnight all your goals and objectives to come true for you so that you feel fulfilled. Most of the time, we keep postponing the experience of fulfillment, thinking that only when what I thought will happen or will eventually transpire in my life, I will feel fulfilled. What if you can feel fulfilled with the smallest little milestones and you can celebrate every moment? Won't your life be amazing? If you keep waiting and postponing the experience of happiness, fulfillment, celebration, aren't you really being unfair to yourself? How about grabbing every opportunity to experience this eternal fulfillment, which can be in this very moment? Once you choose, you will certainly manifest experiences in alignment with that. So people are not frustrated because things are not working out. In my experience, as I have worked with so many subconscious minds, things are not working out because there is a need to feel frustrated. When you open up to the possibility of fulfillment, the things will start working out in your favor. Now it's completely your choice. Are you going to choose remaining frustrated, hoping that I will become a better person or others will become a better person one fine day so that eventually you feel fulfilled? Or gift yourself fulfillment right in this moment and invite others to match up to your need of experiencing fulfillment come what may. And as you choose to be fulfilled, and as people see that joy of fulfillment in your space, you'll be amazed how people will work double time out of their comfort zones and ensure that you sustain the experience of fulfillment. Try it out. Your life will shift from there. Now you'll be curious what are the radical statements which will help me in doing that. So let's recite some of them. I want you to close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Breathe in fulfillment and breathe out frustration. Continue. Breathe in fulfillment and breathe out frustrations. Continue breathing in fulfillment and breathing out all your frustrations. You can do it for up to 7 rounds, and you'll find yourself getting more and more relaxed. I'm going to recite radical statements now. You can switch over to normal breathing now. Recite with me. My frustration is my soul's love. I revive my frustration. I recognize my frustration. I realign my frustration. I reorient my frustration. I reposition my frustration. I revive my frustration. I recognize my frustration. I realign my frustration. I reorient my frustration. I reposition my frustration. I revive my expectations. I recognize my expectations. I realign my expectations. I reorient my expectations. I reposition my expectations. I revive my need for higher expectations. I recognize my need for the higher expectations. I realign my need for the higher expectations. I reorient my need for the higher expectations. I reposition my need for the higher expectations. I revive my dissatisfaction. I recognize my dissatisfaction. I realign my dissatisfaction. I reorient my dissatisfaction. I reposition my dissatisfaction. I revive my association of dissatisfaction with growth. I recognize my association of dissatisfaction with growth. I realign my association of dissatisfaction with growth. I reorient my association of dissatisfaction with growth. I reposition my association of dissatisfaction with growth. I revive my association of dissatisfaction and unfulfillment with growth. I recognize my association of unfulfillment with growth. I realign my association of unfulfillment with growth. I reorient my association of unfulfillment with growth. I reposition my association of unfulfillment with growth. I revive my need for fulfillment. I recognize my need for fulfillment. I realign my need for fulfillment. I reorient my need for fulfillment. I reposition my need for fulfillment. I revive my fear of stagnation due to fulfillment. I recognize my fear of stagnation due to fulfillment. I realign my fear of stagnation due to fulfillment. I reorient my fear of stagnation due to fulfillment. I reposition my fear of stagnation due to fulfillment. I revive my eternal fulfillment. I recognize my eternal fulfillment. I realign my eternal fulfillment. I reorient my eternal fulfillment. I reposition my eternal fulfillment. Thank you for joining. This is Atman Parmar on frustration to fulfillment. May you be blessed with beautiful, fulfilled life. Keep listening, stay tuned, and see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. India time. Thank you so much.